I've been searching, follow every step, every road, every single trace.
Hi guys, thanks for coming to check out this video where I'm about to create a piece, an art piece based on the word Namaste, which was requested in the comments on my community tab where I asked you what words make you think of India. So thank you for that. I've chosen Namaste. It just sparked some inspiration for me, so I'm excited to get started. But before I do, I'm going to quickly choose the countries for our next options for September. So India was amazing, like really incredible. I loved learning about it historically and traditions, and it was just so vibrant. So I really enjoyed that, and I can't wait to go there one day. So thank you, India. Dominican and Albania will go back in the jars after I make the choices. So let's start. So the first ones are the big countries. These are countries with population over 30 million. If you haven't been to the channel before, this is how I make the choices. So our first one is Turkey. Now I know a lot of you want to see Turkey because it has come up before and it got plenty of votes. So if you want to see that one, make sure you comment down below. The next one is going to be, these are the medium population countries. So over 8 million. We have one, we have Honduras, which is fun to say. I would like to enjoy learning about that. That would be awesome. And then our next one is no cheating, swiggling around, swiggling. I don't know if that's a word. Swishing, and we have one. These are our small guys, Costa Rica. Be really awesome to learn about. So they are our choices. We've got Turkey, Honduras, and Costa Rica. So let me know which one you want to see next month for September in my bullet journal series, and just leave a comment down below to make your choice. Thank you, and let's get started with the video. Okay, so starting us off, if you are a first-time watcher of this particular series, my Art on Cue series, this is a series that I do where I create an art piece that originally was an Art Nouveau styled art piece, and then I have tied in some theme or prompt words to each drawing. And this month's drawing, I asked for a prompt word that would make you think of India. And a lot of people gave me heaps of great ideas. Thank you so much for everyone who did comment on the community page towards that post. And I basically loved a lot of them, but I had to choose one. And one that really sparked some interest was the word Namaste. So the word Namaste comes from an ancient Sanskrit word that literally means I bow to you. The Sanskrit word Nama means bow and stay means to you. So that is the literal sense, and it's basically a term that's used to greet someone very respectfully. So in general, we accompany the word Namaste with bringing the palms of the hands together in front of your heart and bowing sort of down to symbolize that respect. So that is where it comes from, and it's definitely familiar to me because it's done at the end of yoga practice. And I guess it's one of those terms that could be used in the correct setting as a hello or a goodbye. So I think because of that very peaceful history that it has and the way it's greeting people very respectfully, it's just such a nice word. And I think we around the world have just sort of latched onto it and really like to use that phrase to symbolize peace, which is lovely. So that one is the one that sparked the joy for me, and I thought, well, yes, let's create a piece on that word. So obviously straight away I pictured an Indian girl praying or with the hands together speaking the words Namaste, and then that's how my piece grew from that. I knew instantly that I wanted to include a lot of colour in this piece. Now in the past, every other month I have chosen just one colour and the black to create the piece, but this time I wanted to use a lot of colour. I didn't want to stick to just one, and a lot of the other requests for the word to be inspired by was vibrant or bright or colourful. So I definitely wanted to include that. And then another couple of things I wanted to keep in mind was the lotus flower as their national flower. I wanted to include that. And then the other thing was sari. Sari came up a lot in the requests as well, and I thought that would be ideal because I love drawing like fabrics and the patterns on saris would be amazing. So I've tried to include that in the piece as well. So there's sort of the 4 words that I was using to create this concept. And I basically went in starting with that position of her and then built it all around. And I love to make the fabric sort of part of the background. So I tried to illustrate it as if it looks like a sari from the top over her shoulder, but when you get down further, it's kind of interlocking and becoming more of the background. Now, I did look into the meaning of sari and how it came about, and the word sari is actually from a Sanskrit word again, but means strip of cloth. So if you haven't heard it before, this is the traditional garment that women wear across their bodies, and it's just a lot of fabric that's draped across in a very particular way, and it's been made in silk for a long time, but also as of modern day, the more day-to-day wear of a sari is made out of cotton. So your really rich textiles like silk are usually very beautifully embroidered and bright colors and just look stunning. So all on the big events and stuff, they will wear their silk ones, and more day-to-day is cotton-based. I've always loved the look of saris in movies. I just think they're so bold and beautiful and just very feminine. So yeah, I hope to one day experience wearing one. I think it would be really nice to attend an Indian wedding because I think it would just be so much fun. But so one day I'd like to wear that, get the henna, the mehndi on my hands. It would be very fun to experience. And then so to decorate this particular piece, I decided to go in with more of those mehndi kind of designs. If you haven't heard of mehndi before, it's basically the henna art, the temporary tattoos that's put onto the body, the skin on the hands and feet. I have mentioned it before in my previous videos for the India series, the bullet journal setup. So if you do want to learn a little bit more, feel free to check out those videos down below. But yeah, the patterns that they illustrate in those mehndi patterns are just so inspiring to me. So I love working with them. So I thought I would just cover this entire piece with mehndi patterns and incorporate them into the lotus as well. So in terms of how I come up with a piece like this, I pretty much start with the girl itself and then go from there, expand out. So then I'll put in the large shapes. Like I usually pick a particular shape that I want to be the focus. And this one, it was very circular and very fluid motions. So I sort of placed them in behind her and then worked on the detail inside each portion after that. So you can kind of see where I'm building it up to now. And I always like to look for a balance of contrast. I really like to have a lot of black in it. But with this particular piece, it did feel a little bit odd having so much black. So I definitely went heavier on the color in the end. And in terms of choosing the colors, that was tricky because I originally wanted to do, all colors like blues, reds, greens, oranges, yellows, the whole shabam. But I thought it might actually get too much and I wouldn't have enough space to put them separated on the piece. So I ended up just choosing a really warm palette that definitely makes me think of India. And it's basically orange, red, and into a deep purple. And so those kind of color tones came into the piece, and I experimented with my watercolors and just creating some gradients and just really having a lot of fun adding all these patterns in around the spread. So it did turn out very intricate and a lot going on, but I feel like that is okay because that makes me think of India. All the patterns are very detailed. When they get dressed up, it's all very ornate and there's so much going on that it just works and it just feels like India to me. Something that I really enjoyed doing here was creating that gradient, as I said, in that sort of half moon in the background. But then once the color was on, I wanted to add more black in there. So I pretty much reversed out the patterns that I would normally do. So I only kept the little intricate pattern detail for the mehndi stuff as the gradient. So it was all black on the outside and the gradient was just coming through. And I really enjoyed the outcome of that. So I definitely want to include that. I'm going to bookmark that in my brain and try and do more of that down the track. I'm just going through and adding extra details where I feel it needs it. I noticed some shading that I hadn't quite nailed on the first pass, so just adding in a few bits of line shading here and there, and then going in and just adding more intricate details because it is so much fun. And if you haven't worked in this way before and it's something you want to try, I recommend it wholeheartedly because it is so fun and easy and just rewarding to have fun with those patterns. And here's what I was talking about with the black coming in on top of that gradient beneath. I just think the effect is really cool, almost like lace laid over a sunset or something. So yeah, I was really happy with that. So although I feel like this piece in the end is quite different to my usual Art on Cue pieces, I'm still really happy with it. So I hope you guys enjoy it as well. And don't forget that if you do really love this piece in the end, I will have the links down to the product that's available on my online shop and my Etsy page, where you can download this and print it at home. So next week is actually the week that I upload a special Patreon video, the bonus video there that happens each month. So that's going to be the tutorial of the Himalayan mountains and how to create a nice watercolor mountain scene. But because I've got that video going up, I won't be able to reveal the country's winner in a YouTube video. So if you do want to find out early what country has won for the month of September, please follow me on Instagram and I will make an announcement on there of the lucky country for next month. So don't forget to place your votes down below and then follow the Instagram account if you want to find out early what the country is. And I will say thank you very much for being here and for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting in some way, and I look forward to hearing which country you want to see for the month of September. Thank you, India. You've been awesome. And thank you to you all for being here. Take care of yourselves, and if you can, someone else. And for now, namaste.